Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Special Olympics Coach Webinar Series, proudly supported and presented by Gallagher and in partnership with ICOACH. I'm Shrey Kadian. I'm from the Special Olympics Bharat, India, as the chairman of National Athlete Input Council. And I'm working in the Special Olympics Asia Pacific as the Regional Athlete Input Council since 5 years. And right now I'm working in the Special Olympics International as the Global Athlete Leadership Council plus sports liaison. And I was participated in the Special Olympics World Summer Game 2015, first ever softball game, and India achieved the first ever gold medal in the Special Olympics World Summer Game and became the vice captain of softball team India. So guys, may I welcome to all the coaches. Let's move on. Interpretation. This webinar offers simultaneous interpretation in English and Spanish language. Select the interpretation button at the bottom of the screen. Select English or Spanish language. Q&A. Please ask any question if you have any question in the Q&A sections. Thank you. Now, today our final webinar is preparation for training and competition. Can we move on, please? So in the earlier meeting, I have explained myself. So these speakers are Gerald Mballe, Declan O'Leary, Alia Atkinson, our Olympian champion ambassador of Special Olympics, and finally Padraig Harrington. Our first speaker is Declan O'Leary. Declan works for Sports Island Coaching in the development of sport coaching. He has particular interest in good coaching practice for young people and for people with disabilities. He is a founder member of ICOACHKIDS. Welcome to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Shrey, for that welcome. And thank you for the opportunity to present to you guys, wherever you are in the world. So thanks to you, Shrey, and thanks to Special Olympics International. It's a pleasure for me to represent ICOACHKIDS at the webinar series, and we've been involved in all of them. It's been a lovely and a really positive experience. ICOACHKIDS is it's become a global movement after stemming out of some projects in Europe around good practice, good policy, and children's involvement in sport, aiming to reach each and every child. What we've done through the series of workshops is we've used the materials that are available on the ICOACHKIDS website, and the website address is in front of you there. And if you could continue, Jeff, the content that I'm going to present is included in the learning section of the website. It's linked to MOOC 3. MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Course, and it's MOOC 3 of the 3 MOOCs, and it's linked to Chapter 3, Coaching and Competition. And the information presented there is drawn from a book called True Competition, and you can see the authors' names. We have an approach in coach education and ICOACHKIDS which says information can be presented to you or you can be facilitated in your learning, but the learning is the responsibility of you yourself, the coach. So I'd encourage you to have some pen and paper handy. If there's anything that you hear in today's webinar that resonates for you, take a note of it and revisit it after the workshop or the webinar. Thanks very much. Could we go on to the next slide, please, Jeff? ICOACHKIDS has adopted this as its pledge around good practice with children. However, it actually, in my view, is good practice with all athletes. So the 10 points in the pledge are: be child-centered or athlete-centered, be holistic, inclusive, have fun and safe. Prioritize the love for sport above learning sport. We want people to be active for life. If they love sport, they'll stay active. The learning will happen in that context. With young people, focus on foundational skills, and those foundational skills can be competence in sport, but they can also be linked to social development, emotional development, and psychological development. Engage parents and guardians positively, plan progressive programs, use different methods to enhance learning, which you do an awful lot in your coaching. But the last point is use competition in a developmental way. And my talk to you today is around preparing for competition, and not so much the preparation, it's about approaching competition in a developmental way. So next slide, please, Jeff. So Rule 10 in the ICOACHKIDS pledges: use competition in a developmental way. And I'm just going to do that initially by exploring where the word competition comes from. It's derived from Latin. I won't ask, are there any Latin speakers on the call, but it refers to striving with another to do something. So what you do is you can compare your skill sets. It demonstrates your ability and the ability of the person who you're striving with, and it can lead to continuous improvement. So sometimes in sport, there's been an adoption of an approach which is win at all costs, which is quite combative in its approach, but it actually moves it further away from this root and definition of competition, which derived from Latin. To that end, therefore, could you click again, please, Jeff? Competing is doing your best to get better, and competing is a partnership approach. If you don't agree to work within the rules as you compete with somebody, the partnership doesn't work. So that's where partnership comes in. In my view, with Special Olympics, you've nailed this quite well in how you bring athletes to competition and the type of competition you deliver and how you recognize the efforts of the Special Olympics athletes in their competition. And I felt it summarized well in the athlete oath. Could you click again, Jeff? And you're more familiar with this than I would be, but it's let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt, which of course is spot on. And that's what we're trying to deliver. So how do you deliver on this then? Could you go on to the next one, Jeff? Within sport, they talk about people improving through a mastery climate or a performance-based climate. And the evidence is very clear. Could you click again, please, Jeff? The research shows that when the competitive climate is based on cooperation and mastery, athletes gain lots of positive outcomes like enjoyment, self-esteem, confidence, sustained participation, resilience, and teamwork. Now, that doesn't happen overnight. It's based on an approach to coaching, a coaching philosophy that is athlete-centered, and also working with individual athletes to help them to get this outcome from being involved in sport. So it's a mastery climate that we're aiming for in training, but also in competition. Could you go on to the next one, please, Jeff? Okay. How do we organize and manage competition so that we promote this mastery climate? Well, the first thing with any training or competition are your logistics. And this is just, we use the acronym PEP. Jeff, could you click again, please? It refers to the people. So you have clear arrangements, times, places, transport, all of that. Obviously, with children and with vulnerable adults, you look for safeguarding and protection, and also then the people involved who'd be involved as assistants in helping with the process, either coaching assistance or personal assistance. The E stands for equipment and all that you need for training, and then what you need at competition and the warm up for competition. So if it's bibs and cones, if it's personal equipment, if it's equipment for the event, all of that. And the last is provisions. Many Special Olympics events go on for a series of days or for a full day. And if you don't get the nutrition and hydration and rest right, people won't perform. It won't be that caring environment. So what we advise on this is that you work from templates and checklists. There's examples identified and approach to it in the resources that I mentioned earlier. You do it early, you plan, you phone, and it's even been suggested that if you're traveling to an event that people might scout ahead of it. And lastly, make sure you have enough assistance. Many people will just be waiting to be asked, and your challenge as a coach is to delegate that. So the logistics can help things run very smoothly and allow the focus then to be on the athletes and your coaching and having everybody get the most of the experience. Next again, please. The other part of this being ready for competition and approaching competition is managing expectations. We're talking about being involved with people. Where people are involved, you've got to have a positive relationship, resulting in positive experiences, but have a common language and understanding. And what you have to do then is say, whose expectations are we helping to manage here? Could you click again, please, Jeff? There's your expectations and the other coaches involved, but also program leaders and what that refers to as others in the club. And sort of the things you've got to be clear on, could you click again, Jeff? About the playing time for each athlete, the emphasis you put on improvement and development over results, recognizing and respecting officials and umpires. Are you putting them under pressure? Are you letting them do their job? And do all the coaches have the same expectations, or do we have to discuss them prior to the competition? You probably have to discuss them to be on the same page. So that's the coaches and your expectations. Jeff, could you go on to the next one? Others with expectations will be parents and guardians. And once again, Jeff, could you click? And you can kind of keep going with these. Completely aware of your expectations. Have you thought, are they aware of yours, and are you aware of theirs? So a discussion would happen. Things that you probably would be discussing with them would be playing time across the squad of athletes you work with. Are there starters? Are there substitutes? And how people are going to be introduced to games or events. The support that you might require with the athlete in terms of their own personal needs, and that might be provided by parents or guardians. The behavior you expect from the athletes and parents. Many organizations or clubs would have, our squads would have that around the approach they're trying to do and being positive with athletes. And you might want to let them know how you like to play the game and what the athletes will be trying to do, so that it's contributing to their development. The last point is, this isn't a once-off conversation. It's one that you might have to do all the time. So those expectations will be taken into account. And the last one, Jeff, please click, will be the participants themselves. So if you have a philosophy of partnership and improvement in your coaching philosophy, that should be clear of how that comes through in the competition. Similarly to the other coaches and the adults, there'll be playing time expectations. People will be working on their roles and responsibilities and probably developing them. The behavior that you'd expect on and off the field. The attitude towards coaches, teammates, opposition, referees, officials, and supporters. And then engagement with their parents during the competition. Sometimes it could be during an event. Sometimes it'll be after events, and that'll relate to your own policy. I think one of the things that's important in terms of expectations is that if people don't deliver against it, there's probably going to be agreed of failing to live up to the agreed expectations. But those consequences will be agreed as well. So if parents were giving out to officials or referees, there might be a consequence for that, which you've agreed with them beforehand. Similarly with participants, and similarly with your fellow coaches. Not just your fellow or co-coaches, they might also apply to you yourself as the head coach. So those expectations are important. Jeff, could we go on again, please? So your coaching philosophy, and that's the approach that you want to take to your coaching. We've mentioned in the pledge that it should be holistic and it should be athlete focused, so are centered. So it's very clear, I think it's about the athletes. We've spoken about having expectations and people being on the same page. And that provides a term that we use called the competition compass. And we use a compass to guide us. Now, as we go on to the next sections, I'm going to use the word practice quite a bit and routines quite a bit. I think that if you arrive to competition without practicing how you want to do it, if you haven't worked out your routines and practice your routines, it might not go as smoothly as you want. So bear that in mind. Jeff, the next slide, please. So pre-competition routines, look, these will be common to many people. Arrive early, have the chit chat, get familiar with the environment, meet officials, maybe meet the opposition, how you approach that in terms of sportspersonship and so on is there. You could have your expectations chat then, a short one, with your squad about what we've all agreed to do in the event. You conduct your warm-up and probably finish with a final chat before embarking on the event itself. Once more, please, Jeff. I'm going straight here to post-competition because both in pre-competition and post-competition, your emotions tend to be under control and you're not involved in that competitive arena where people get excited, you get excited, heart rate goes up, and so on. So in relation to post-competition routines, obviously you should acknowledge the opposition, probably help in tidying up, get changed, and then prepare for the next time. The next time might be information on your next session and what you're trying to do. So they're the pre and post competition suggestions. If you work those out routines, you practice them both before your training sessions and after training sessions, and then you do them at events, you'll carry that through with the whole aim of getting the most from the experience of the events. Once more, please, Jeff. However, it's the in-competition routines which I think people might find challenging. And not so much challenging, it's just that we get excited, we get involved, and maybe we get caught up with our own emotions. And as a coach or a head coach, you've got to be conscious of that. So a couple of suggestions around it would be work out how you keep everyone involved. This was a quote that I came across and I liked it. Obviously, with your players or your squad or your athletes, you're always trying to not just be the best team we can be on the court, but the best bench in the league. So you would be helping those on the bench to advise them on how they can support their teammates, how their behavior, the type of behavior you'd like and stuff like that. And as I say, you can practice this at training sessions as well. The next one is the behavior you'd expect to see. And really, they'd be behaving in line with your coaching philosophy and your expectations. You could use your assistant coaches to support players. Parents and guardians should be behaving off the court or off the place of participation. And here's the one from you. Every now and again, sit down, take a few deep breaths to check your emotional state. Make sure that your behavior is equally in line with your coaching philosophy and your expectations. And remember, you would have communicated these to your co-coaches, parents, and others. One of the things we suggested in an earlier session when it came to your ability to reflect on your training was that somebody might video you at training, and then you could see about your coaching toolkit in terms of your explanations, your demonstrations, your giving feedback, your giving praise, and so on. Similarly here, if you're in competition, you could have a co-coach record you on your own phone and have a look back at it afterwards and see if your behavior is in line with your expectations and your coaching philosophy. Thanks, Jeff, once more. One way to do it is to have linked to your behavior, linked to expectations and your coaching philosophy, is have KPIs or key performance indicators. It's a term used in business, but it just means focusing. It helps you for you and everybody else to focus. So some of those could be the following. The game time, how do you monitor that and make sure it happens? It mightn't happen in every game, but it happens over a season. Are the athletes really enjoying themselves? Are the spectators enjoying themselves? Are the families enjoying themselves? Are you coaches enjoying yourselves? Monitor level of tiredness, because tiredness can impact on performance and take from it. However, tiredness can also be used as a tool for you to rotate players and athletes. How you respect others will be important. And then there will be sport-specific things that you'll want to monitor in terms of individual skills, unit skills, or group skills, or team skills, both in attack and defense, are related to the event an individual athlete might be doing. So that's sort of the in-competition routines. You can be practicing these at training and then look for them in events as well. Thanks, Jeff. Just one more. So our basic recommendations then are the following. Make sure the competition is tailored to the age and stage of development of the athletes. If there's a mismatch there, it won't happen, but Special Olympics is good at its categorization and classifications, and it works well on that. And it makes sure that the competition is fair, so no one is totally outplayed. Next, please, Jeff. Lead by example in all competitions. And I'll echo back to the last slide there where I mentioned about your own behavior and monitoring that. So it should be in line with your coaching philosophy and your expectations. And you're looking for the parents and guardians understand the expectations too. So the experience is going to be positive for everybody. Last two, use routines, practice them at training, and then use them in the competition. And finally, reflect from how it goes. I mentioned the video for yourself, but equally, you and your co-coaches can look back over what happened and reflect on that also. So that's sort of the summary for you to get the best out of it. In relation to ICOACHKIDS, the website is where this information is packaged for you to look at and learn in your own way. There's videos, there's study guides, there's blogs, and there's other just discussion videos. There's also a Connect section of it, which Special Olympics International has set up an interest group that you can actually join after you've registered on the website. Following the series of webinars and workshops, ICOACHKIDS would continue to like to support the Special Olympic International coaches through the interest group, but equally true as if you become an individual member and use the ICOACHKIDS resources. They're there to be used. Please use them, please share them. And that kind of brings me to the end. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Shrey, for hosting. Thanks, Special Olympics International, for the opportunity to participate. Me personally as a speaker, but also for engaging with ICOACHKIDS in the webinar series. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Declan, for sharing lots of things and sharing for a wonderful session for our coaches and everyone. This is important for all the coaches and everyone. So we are move on. Our next speaker is Padraig Harrington. Padraig is a three-time major champion, having won back-to-back British Open Championship and PGA Championship. Padraig has played in 6 Riders' Cups, winning 4, and has most recently the European Ryder Cup captain for the rearranged 2020 Ryder Cup. He has been a global ambassador for Special Olympics since May 2010 and has given a number of golf athletes since then. He is an active supporter of Special Olympics by promoting our work through his social commitments and his social media channels. So over to you, Padraig.
How does Padraig manage his own physical and mental well-being before and during tournaments?
I think I do the standard things. I make sure I get enough sleep, I eat properly, I make sure I hydrate and drink enough water. But mentally, probably the main things is I try not to spend much time on my own. I try and talk. Every day I try and spend a few minutes talking to somebody about how I feel about the day, how things are going. I think that's the biggest thing. If you talk to somebody, they just have to listen. They don't have to understand. They just have to listen, and you tend to get a lot off your chest on what you're thinking and what you're doing. So definitely talking, probably the best thing. And outside of that, you know, plenty of exercise. Don't stay in your hotel room. That sort of stuff, and sleep, and obviously good diet.
Question 2, Ryder Cup. How did Padraig cope with the forced postponement for a whole year, as this resulted in a significant change of plans to schedule, preparation and selection of players for the Ryder Cup?
So the postponement, when it actually happened, was fine. What was difficult was waiting for it. You know, there was a lot of doubt, and maybe a couple of months where we were questioning whether it could go ahead, and we were trying to work our way through it going ahead, and then it became quite evident that, look, this couldn't go ahead properly, and there was probably a good 6 weeks before it was cancelled after that. So there was a lot of stress, I suppose, in that 6 weeks, with that in-between period where you believe something should happen, it's going to happen, but you actually have to wait for the final word on it. So, but once you got the final word, that was fine. You set up, you start again, you know, you evaluate where you are, what you have to do, and you know, you have a definitive set date. So yeah, it was pretty easy once the actual postponement happened, but up to that there was a lot of doubt.
And question 3, the Ryder Cup is a rare opportunity for a golfer to be put into a team management situation. What did Padraig learn from preparing for the Ryder Cup in terms of preparation and strategy that can be useful for coaches at grassroots level? The challenges and scenarios can be the same as at the elite level.
So I'd say the biggest thing for that is not everybody thinks the same way, and they certainly don't necessarily think the way I do or the way you do. So you have to try and find and understand each player's motivation. Some players want a lot of information, some players want a lot of comforting and reassurance. Other players just need one simple task and off they go, and in some ways need to be held back at times because they will go off on their own direction. So it's really understanding the different personalities, getting to know the players, getting to know your players, and finding out what makes them tick, what they need from you, because one size does definitely not fit all.
Thank you, Padraig, for sharing lots of information. Now, may I call our next speaker is Gerald Mballe. Gerald Mballe is a Special Olympics first ever advisor for Unified with Refugees program. Gerald is commitment to inclusive sports and social inclusive worldwide. Over to you, Gerald.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me all? I'm sorry for the internet connection. I'm having issues. I don't know why my camera cannot. I don't know why the webinar doesn't have access to the camera. But anyway, thank you for having me, and it is a privilege to be here, and just much more an opportunity for me talking to professionals and top professionals like you. And thank you, Shrey, for the presentation. Yeah, I am Gerald Mballe, and I am the first advisor of Unified Refugee Programming on behalf of Special Olympics Europe Eurasia. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of preparation and the preparation for training and competitions has played in my own life. I'm gonna give a personal experience, my own point of view, and I hope to be able to transfer something into the audience. Jeff, can you please scroll down? Thank you very much. Yeah, when we talk about the importance of preparation and training for competition, the first thing I would like to emphasize on is the fact that preparation is a fundamental key in all aspects of life, in everything. And in anything we do, when we expect having good result, we need to be well prepared. I mean, even if we are about to prepare a speech like I'm presenting right now, I took some preparation early so that I could boost my confidence to be able to talk to you guys. And this is how it results in all aspects. In order to have a good performance, you need to get focused and you need to prepare out. So this is the main reason we are here today. If you look at my slides, I have highlighted some points that I definitely want to talk about. There are some points that reflect on my own experience, you know, as an unified athlete, unified partner for the Special Olympics national Italian team. And I have been able, and I had opportunity to participate to various competitions at the national and international level. And one of the top level of events to whom I participated was at Abu Dhabi in 2019 that I'm definitely going to highlight during this presentation as well. And so when I look at preparation, I mean, when people think about preparation, athletes as a whole think about preparation, they mostly think about the practical part, no? They mostly think about the physical part, no? About getting speed, about getting endurance, about working in the physical body. You know, we often tend to you know, some people often tend to forget about that there is an aspect that if it does not work, you definitely be unable to have a good preparation. And that is why I want to focus on one keyword for my presentation. And this had a lot to play in my own experience as a soccer player among my teammates. It was my state of mind, you know, my morale, you know, my mindset. And this is a very important word and a key word for me for this presentation, because having a good mindset, as I said, makes us more responsive and effective. And this involves definitely having a good performance. It helps the body to function well. You know, it connects emotions. And if you don't have a good mindset, you won't be able to prepare the body to receive trainings in order to prepare for competition. So, and mindset is definitely, it is a process. As I said in my slides, it is a process that our mind, which increases our minds, which increases our abilities, you know, and well-being. As a consequence, it enables us to handle skills in sport, and be it physical, be it mental, be it emotional. And one important thing about having a good mindset is that it is not an inborn skills, as I said in my slide. It is something that has to be learned. You know, I said this state of mind can be obtained only through good preparation, because it is not an inborn skills, I repeat, as I said. So it needs to be acquired through learning. And only being among a team to prepare, be it for a tournament, be it for a great level competition, only among the team you can prepare your mind to receive a good training section. And this mindset connects. It is a connection that embodies, all the aspects. It determines all the aspects. As I said, connection between our mind and our body determines the rest of our competition. In my case, as I will highlight during my presentation, it has had a big role to play, being able to be mentally prepared, to be well in my morale, to be able to receive training. Jeff, please, can you scroll down? Hello, Jeff.
Sorry, Gerald, what is it?
Yeah, can you just scroll down? I will tell you when to play the video.
On to the next slide, is it?
Yeah. Just scroll on to the next slide. Thank you. And yeah, I talked about the benefit of preparation to training and competitions. And when you have prepared your mind to receive trainings, to prepare with the team, you could only have benefits, and the benefits can be anxiety management. We all know at athletes, maybe coaches which are connected up here, the type of anxiety we usually take away when we go for competitions, when we go for high-level competitions. Sometimes we ask ourselves a lot of questions. Am I going to be at the level of the competition? The other team is so good. I don't know how we're going to handle that. Am I going to be at my best level of performance? These are the questions that we often deal with as athletes. I mean, in my own case, when I was participating to the Abu Dhabi game. And this is just the question that I was asking. So preparation was a benefit in order to enable me, to give me tools to manage my anxiety. And a good preparation can only benefit and can only give you a confident state, which is an important element to athletes. In my own case, confidence is very important. I think it is a key item. If you are not confident, you won't be able to free out your body. You'll be able to be the best out of your own self. You won't be able to give the best out of your own self. That's what I want to say. So confidence is only achieved through a good preparation. I mean, motivation, which is definitely a very essential. Because it helps us to in fulfilling our goals. It helps us to give out the best of ourselves. And gaining confidence, going back to the other point, help us to stay focused and have a positive attitude into our goals. And this will only lead to a good performance. This is a picture of myself after I prepared for an international competition with my team here in Italy. And we had a good preparation where we had a retreat with our team members. We were together with the coach. We had a good mental preparation. It means they talked to us a lot. And it only resulted to a very good competition. I have attached a video on this presentation that I will kindly ask Jeff to play now, just to show you how what can be the impact of good preparation for training and competition. Please, Jeff, can you play the video?
Hello to everybody, I am Gerald, I am from Cameroon, I am a refugee in Italy. As you can see, we are participating of unification game, which is Special Olympics. And as you can all see, it is a very beautiful and amazing game with a lot of emotion. I had to do a lot of force, a lot of struggle to be accepted in the society, in the Italian society. It's so amazing, uniting with them, playing like a partner. It's a very special thing because in my country, disabled people don't have the privilege to participate in this type of game. I am very happy helping them as a partner to construct the game, and through that I can integrate myself also, because it's just all of inclusion and integration. I am very, very happy. As you can see, it's so fantastic, so amazing, very beautiful. Thank you, people.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you for putting this video too. And this was just the result of a good preparation. You know, before we went into this competition, we had the privilege to go for a retreat with our coaches and our partners, and we had a lot of time. We talked a lot, and you can see my emotion. You can feel it from the way I speak. And this was the first day for me talking in front of people, in front of a mic, because I was able, through preparation, to go out of my fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You know, I was able to go out of my comfort zone because as you can get from my English, I'm not very good at English because I'm from the French part of Cameroon. I speak French, and preparation helped me not only to perform well into that competition, but as well to be able to move from a fixed mindset to growth mindset, as I always say, to be able to transform the energy into what you just say. So please, Jeff, can you scroll down to the next slide? And talking about preparation, in my own case, in my own experience, and from my own perspective, you can definitely benefit also with a good preparation. You can also have a good discipline, as I have stated in this slide, which are things that coaches present here definitely know. But these are the elements that I have witnessed in my own experience. You know, a good preparation helps us in being disciplined, and discipline is a key element for sports people who practice sport. You have to be disciplined. You have to be respectful. You are among your team members. And if you practice football as I do, without this element, believe me that I don't think there's going to be a good performance. If you are able to install the spirit of discipline, of respect, it will help you to be consistent even in your diet, because having a good diet, having good sleeping hours are elements that you can all benefit from good preparation. Jeff, can you go to the next slide? This is a picture of Abu Dhabi World Game 2019. It is a picture with a smile, but it's a very sad smile because on my next slide, I'm going to talk about what happened when you don't have a good preparation. And this, you can see I am at the airport just alone in this picture. Meanwhile, my team arrived in Abu Dhabi a week before. So I'm going to tell you why. Please, Jeff, go to the next slide. Thank you. Yeah, with this image and with Abu Dhabi World Game 2019, I'm going to talk about what happened when you don't prepare well. I added that picture on the slides just to let you know that I participated with my team, the Italian national team of Special Olympics in 2019 at Abu Dhabi. And before the participation to the event, I wasn't good mentally. Why? Because as a refugee, I was unable to join the team, traveling together with the team to Abu Dhabi, because I had to undergo some process, some documentation process check, and with the international protection that I have, I was unable to travel to Abu Dhabi. But once again, the good news came from sport and from our movement, Special Olympics, that changed the law when they are negative into positive, and I was able to travel. But I traveled 1 week after my team was already there training. So I arrived at Abu Dhabi with a very poor mindset. I was very confused. I wasn't concentrated, and there was not a team spirit by them, and that resulted to a very poor performance in 2019 in Abu Dhabi, a personal poor performance on my behalf. And in this slide, I have highlighted some points, which is the lack of team spirit, which is poor concentration, poor mindset, which may definitely lead to injuries and poor performance. Why? Because this is all what I witnessed in my own experience, due to the fact that I was not with the team to have the spirit of solidarity, because in soccer, we win as a team. It is not an individual winning. You know, I wasn't there to be training all the time, but at the end of the day, I met the team in Abu Dhabi just alone, as you saw in the picture that I highlighted in the slide. So this is just to tell you that when you don't prepare well, you may definitely have all these elements which will never lead to a good performance. And we all train to have a good performance. We all prepare to have a good performance at competitions, be it as a team or be it as a single individual. And thankfully, I am here with coaches who can confirm that. What happens when you don't prepare well are just these elements. You will never have a good performance. Please, Jeff, go to the next slide, which is definitely the last slide of my presentation. Unfortunately, my presentation, due to technological problems, I am unable to see you guys. I'm unable to hear anything. I don't know what is happening. I'm just picking likes. There's nobody listening at me. But I believe there may be some questions. So I just left these question points for some questions, and also for who would like to connect with me on LinkedIn. So thank you very much. Thank you to Jeff. Thank you to the team that gave me this opportunity. Thank you for the audience that listened to my presentation. I'm going to leave the stage to whosoever will ask me a question. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jaren, for sharing lots of things and sharing for wonderful webinar and presentation also. We appreciate you. Now we are going our Q&A sessions. I want to ask Declan, sir, you discuss managing expectations going into competitions. How would you recommend a coach to manage the expectation of others on them? For example, athlete parents. Over to you.
Thanks, Shrey, and thanks, Gerald, for a lovely presentation. Yeah, I think expectations are something that it's very hard to manage once you get there. We'd certainly suggest that having meetings with parents and guardians around the approach of your overall program and what you're trying to achieve, both through your training and your competition, is a way for everybody to discuss and be clear on their expectations. And at least when you have those conversations away from an event or a competition, emotions wouldn't be running as high and so on. One of the tips that was given in the presentation was do it often. While you might have a pre-season meeting and you would speak with parents and guardians, I think as the season goes through, it's very possible to sort of informally check in with parents, check in with guardians, that they're happy with the program, and to let them know that you're listening and acting on their feedback. There are so many good ideas out there that unfortunately none of us has them all, but fortunately others do. And if we're open to them, we can take them on board. And lastly, then when it comes to actual competition events, you can have that conversation with parents and guardians before the event, touch base with them during the event, and after an event or competition, just check, was everything okay? Were expectations met? I certainly can imagine that for some athletes who are very close to parents, in some event competitions, they have to be away from parents and family. And that's just part of the way the events run. So I think it's worth practicing those and developing the routines for those athletes. And then when it comes to events, the parents and guardians can be prepared that they'll be away, and encourage that separation for the period of the event where they can meet afterwards or in the evenings. So I think it's done by managed. There's an old expression, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is always one bite at a time. So in this case, what you're trying to do is ensure the expectations are out there. You're meeting the parents and you're making sure you're all on that same page, having that common language and that common understanding. Thanks, Shrey.
Thanks very much, sir, for sharing answer for my questions. So our next move on. I want to ask Gerald Mballe for questions. Do you have any coping mechanisms to help you get back on track if your preparation is not what you had planned it to be? Over to you.
Thank you, Shrey. This is an interesting question, and yes, I'm gonna give you my I think for the sport I practice, which is football, which is sometimes 11-a-side or 5-a-side, 7-a-side. I mean, you definitely are not alone in the field of game. And in football, the victory is a general victory, and you don't win individually. You win as a team. And my mechanism to cope into this regard is when you feel that your expectations are not what you thought were going to be, you definitely rely to your team members, because that's what we talk about a team. That's what we call a team. You have to have a team spirit. So relying on your team members will definitely help you in that particular situation. So I believe football is a general game, but I don't know if it is going to be the same for someone who practices individual swimming. So he definitely needs to have his own mechanism. But what I may comment to this question is just maybe I rely on my team, on my coach, and they will definitely help me to increase my performance and to meet my goals. If not, as a team, we will definitely have a victory, or we will try, we'll attempt, and we will be brave in the attempt.
Thanks, Jaren, for sharing your answers. So can we go next? Yes. So guys, may I call our champion athlete, Alia Atkinson. Alia Atkinson is a 5-time Olympic swimmer representing Jamaica in the 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020 recently Tokyo Olympics. Alia is also a champion ambassador for Special Olympics. Alia has sent us the message for all of the coaches who have attended the webinar series. Over to you, Alia.
Good day. My name is Alia Atkinson. I am a 5-time Olympic swimmer from Jamaica and a double world record holder. But I am also a champion ambassador for Special Olympics. And I'm so excited to be able to speak with you guys today. You guys who are such a unique opportunity of coaches around the world. I am so excited to be here and just share a little bit of what my whole career has been like due to my coaches and the people around me. First off, I want to thank you guys for joining this webinar, where you guys get to learn and grow and interact and learn some new skill sets as well. Throughout my years, I realized my coaches has truly been my second parents. They've been sometimes my father figure or my mother figure. They've been my brothers and my sisters and my friends. But most importantly, I think they were the other parts of me. As I continued into the sports, and I've been in it for about 26 years, they've always pushed me to be better and to do better, and not just be the best athlete I can be, but to be the best person I can be. As I grew up, and this is actually some information that I actually tell other kids, younger kids, is it's great to be a fantastic athlete. However, what's most important is being a great person and building that person each and every day with everything that you do. And that's something my coaches instilled in me, as well as my parents. The role of a coach is huge, as many of you know. So I commend you for all that you do and continue to do. I thank you for getting each and every day and doing the best that you can, working outside of the box, especially during the pandemic, and just trying to have an optimistic and positive attitude each and every day, not just for yourself, but for your athletes. So thank you for thriving for excellent coaching. Thank you for not just coaching Special Olympics, but investing in your coaching experience as well. Thank you for your passion, and thank you for each and every day, not just being a great coach, but also being a great example and mentor for our Special Olympic athletes. Thank you so very much, and thank you to all the Special Olympic coaches. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your webinar.
Thank you, Alia, for sharing very wonderful message to all the coaches and everyone. I think all the coaches has get many benefit. So let's move on. So our team will be sharing our Special Olympics coaching resources link. Now I'm explaining to you for what is this. This is a Special Olympics e-learning courses online mode. So here's our coaching level 1, level 2, and level 3, fitness, small slide games, wall games preparation, protective behavior, conceptual training, and many. You can visit for this and you will be getting know many more, like for example, athlete leadership, youth leadership, unified sports, what is an intellectual disability, what is about the Special Olympics, and many more. Now, upcoming, our Special Olympics team will be planning and bring the more session or plan a session, planning a training session now. And guys, I'm sharing our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe our YouTube channel, like, share, and I'm sharing the Special Olympics International YouTube channel as well as also. So thank you. So yeah, thank you to all who attended the webinar today. Thank you to our presenting partner, Gallagher, and supported partner, ICOACHKIDS. Thank you and namaste. Once again, thank you giving me opportunity for me. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar, and see you soon with another program. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay connected with our coaches and athletes as well as parents also for this. So thank you once again. Bye-bye.